You know, I'm convinced that Damien Leone is not going to be satisfied until he offends literally everyone. What's up, everybody? Nick here, and tonight I want to give you guys my Terrifier 3 spoiler-free review. I literally just walked in the door from seeing Terrifier 3, and I'm turning this around to you guys quick because I want to give you my thoughts so you can decide whether you want to go see the movie this weekend. I am not going to get into spoilers, so you don't have to worry about that. If you haven't seen it, you can keep watching. So, first and foremost, let me just say, Terrifier 2 was a massive improvement over Terrifier in pretty much every way, in my opinion. And from that point, I was like, okay, this is going to be a franchise, and Art the Clown is going to be iconic sooner rather than later. Terrifier 3 takes the door, kicks it down, cuts it up with a chainsaw, burns it on fire, takes a crap on it. Look, the Terrifier series and Art the Clown, the character, they are no longer this underground indie horror property. No, this is a big freaking deal. So, really quickly, my cons with Terrifier 3, I do have, I believe, two. One, the pacing in the beginning of the movie is a little slow for me. It took a little bit to get into, and I was kind of, I don't know, I wasn't really vibing with it at first. Took a little bit, but I got into it. And then two, Chris Jericho can't act. I'm sorry, I know there's a lot of fans of his, and that's fine, but he cannot freaking act to save his life. Those are the only complaints I have about Terrifier 3. Getting into the pros, just like Terrifier 2, and just like what I said at the beginning of this video, this movie ups the ante from the previous one. I didn't know if it was possible. Damien Leone had talked about that. He almost challenges himself to go, okay, I offended this many people with this scene in the last one. How can I do that up even more in the next one? Boy, does he deliver. Look, I wasn't offended, and everybody in my audience was laughing and going along with it, but my God, can I see some people being absolutely mortified by this movie. I also just want to say, I made a video a couple weeks back, and I was wrong. If you've seen that video, you know, but that's all I'm going to say about that. Another pro about this movie is this is genuinely David Howard Thornton's best performance as Art the Clown. Like, I'm not even shitting you. I'm sitting here laughing, smiling from ear to ear at all the depraved stuff that he is doing. I could not believe how much he was chewing up the scenery, how into it he was. He's had incredible moments in the previous two films, but I swear to God, every time he's on the screen in this movie, it is like he is a kid in a candy store. He is fantastic. And he made me laugh at so many times that I shouldn't laugh, that it would make you question, like, your morality as a human being. He's so damn good. Easily his best performance is Art the Clown. And furthermore, Lauren Lavera, dude, she's a star. Like, period, she's a star. This is going to be an actress. She's going to go places. She's not just going to be relegated to the Terrifier movies, even if she were, who cares? You know, horror fans, we love you, Lauren, and you can make a nice career out of that. But she's incredible. I mean, she acts circles around everybody in this movie. There are multiple points I'm sitting here and I'm going like, damn, this is really Terrifier 3, and you're getting, like, this level of performance from someone. Like, that's pretty wild. That's not to say that, like, the acting is bad at all, because it's not, but she is just leagues above everybody else. So, Lauren Lavera, keep doing you. The Christmas aesthetic in this movie works to perfection. Like, they play it up just enough to where it's not overdone, and it doesn't feel like you're like, oh my God, you're just really cribbing on this, and you're trying too hard. No, the movie does not do that. It is placed at perfect moments. It looks great. The use of the music, everything like that, it's just perfect. Like, it's absolutely perfect. And this is going to go really well as a Christmas or a Halloween watch. Like, I'm sitting there in the theater in October going like, oh yeah, I vibe with this time of year. Also going, oh, and I can vibe with this in December. Like, if this is still playing in December, maybe I'll go see it again. Like, it works perfectly. That's one thing that Damien Leone, you can't take away from him. Even if you hate these movies, he's really, really good with his aesthetics and his atmospheres. Like, dude just nails it. Another worry I had about this movie, and I talked about this in a couple videos over the last few months, worrying that, okay, the budget is bigger, there's more people involved here. Is this going to lose some of the charm the first two movies had? No, not at all. Like, not at all. The only noticeable difference, I would say, is better prosthetics. And that is another pro about this movie. The prosthetics in this movie are killer. Like, genuinely killer. Everything looks better than it ever has in this series. It's still not super ultra realistic most of the time, which I believe, in my opinion, is a staple of Terrifier. It is, you know, it doesn't make you too uncomfortable. With gore like this, if it is ultra realistic, sometimes it can get to be a little like nauseating where it's like, okay, I feel like we're overdoing this. No, Terrifier still has that charm and that wink, wink, nudge, nudge to its gore, but the effects are so much better. You can tell that's where the money went. Another pro about this movie is you actually started to get some answers. And it's nothing crazy, nothing that's going to make you, oh my God, earth-shattering. But it is cool to finally start to flesh out some of these characters a little bit more. I dug that. I was hoping that would happen. I had worries throughout the film that maybe we weren't going to get some things like that. And I was like, okay, but then it might get a little played out. Luckily, there are things hinted at or said, and you can see where things are going to go next. And yes, this is not going to be the end. Damien Leone has already said that. So I can't wait to see what's next, personally. And finally, I just want to marvel at the fact that this movie and this series is doing what it's doing. All Hallows Eve was this kind of low budget, straight to video movie that had a segment with a character called Art the Clown that really kind of grabbed people, and they're like, oh, we like this guy. And then Terrifier, again, small budget, indie, but it got people talking when it was on streaming. Terrifier 2 comes out and does insanely well for its budget. And now Terrifier 3 is looking to open this weekend domestically to as much as Terrifier 2 did in its entire run. We're out of that realm now. This is mainstream. This is mainstream. People know art. People know Terrifier. And I just have to give a massive, massive shout out to Dark Age, to Screambox, to Bloody Disgusting, to Damien Leone, to literally everybody involved, because you are making movies and putting them theatrical that you just don't see go theatrical anymore. You don't see it. You don't see these movies getting big marketing pushes. You don't see these movies getting played on thousands of screens nationwide and doing the numbers they're doing because it's taboo. Oh, this is way too niche. No. Art the Clown has broken that seal. He's broken that barrier. And he's here. This series is here. And I can tell you, Terrifier 4 is going to probably be even bigger than this movie. Damien, I know you might have wanted to go on to other things in your career, but for the next few years, you're going to be tied to Terrifier movies, and rightfully so, because they're damn good, they're doing really well, and they are something that we're just not seeing. While we are getting all these formulaic, copy-paste bullshit movies half the time, in the horror genre specifically, Damien Leone said, no, watch this. And I forever respect the guy for that. So overall, guys, I loved Terrifier 3. I still think Terrifier 2 is my favorite. I do think it's my favorite, but I'm giving this one 4.5 out of 5. It is genuinely, aside from a few minor gripes, I loved the movie. And I loved, it was just so interesting being in the theater with Terrifier 2 and then seeing the difference now. The theater was almost sold out. Everybody's reacting, everybody's laughing, everybody's getting into it. To see this series grow the way it has and to be able to live through it is really, really cool. It's something really special. And just, again, shout out to everybody for these movies. They're incredible. Please keep making them. I cannot recommend this movie enough. So I want to know down in the comment section below what you guys think. Did you see Terrifier 3 and did you love it? Did you hate it? Were you just meh on it? Whatever it is, comment down below in the comment section. If you haven't seen it yet, let me know if you are excited to see it. Anything and everything right down there in that section. Click it. Start typing. Let's discuss. Please leave a like on this video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. This is Nick at the Lost River Drive-In, and I'm pulling out.